Welcome to Outer Limitless. Today is a tabletop review of the SE6. If you're unfamiliar with the SE6, I'll give you just a brief background. SE knives are designed by Randall's Adventure Training. Now this company has been in business since about 1997, and they've trained military, law enforcement, and different civilian groups in jungle survival. And they've developed knives in accordance to what they try to train so that people have an effective tool in difficult situations. The overall length of the knife is 11.75 inches. The overall length of the blade is 6.5 inches with a 5.75 inch cutting edge. It does have a choil. The width of the blade is 1.56 inches, and the overall weight is 12 ounces. The spine of the SE6 is 3/16 of an inch and contains jimping at the top of the spine. I'm shooting this review after having owned this SE6 for about 2 years. It came with a black coating that I removed almost immediately. I've done some little things to modify this just to suit my needs and my preferred use style. Apart from stripping the original black coating, I added a mustard patina. Now it's been significantly worn down over time from use, but it has helped the knife in general with rust. I do have some rust spots. It doesn't bother me. You know, I don't let it get crazy out of control, and I don't leave this knife in any weather or any situation where it will really severely deteriorate, but you know, a little rust here and there doesn't bother me too much as long as I keep the knife clean and as long as I keep that cutting edge nice and sharp. Now, when I first got the knife, these SE6s don't have an incredibly sharp spine, but I did want to use this to help me process wood and start fires, striking ferro rods and creating some fluff on feather sticks. So I did grind a little notch. It's very subtle, but a nice square spot in the spine, and that allows me to strike a ferro rod with ease. Now my SE6 came with a gray linen micarta handle with green liners. I have seen other colors, and I believe the earlier generations were more of a black linen micarta with a red liner. The full tang is a complete slab of 1095 all the way through the handle. You'll see that there is no skeletization whatsoever, just simply the 3 holes that accept the bolts and also the hole through the end where the lanyard is able to go through. So definitely weighs in on how the knife is balanced, and it's a nice central balance right on that hinge point between your thumb and your index finger. You'll notice a very minor rust accumulation beneath the scales. That is primarily from the patina that I put on the knife when I was customizing it. It's not so much because of moisture getting beneath the scales as much as it is simply that patina rust kind of showing through. And it hasn't worn off the same as it has on the rest of the blade. But you'll notice it's not quite as pronounced once you get to the blade. Yes, the blade does have marks from use, but not as much of those heavier rust spots. So I'll just add a layer of grease over the top of that tang, so when I put the scales back on, it'll all be protected and won't allow the water to penetrate. Now another subtle detail about the blade, and I don't know if you can see this, but I added a very slight convex to my edge to try to make it a little bit stronger. You know, I use this for a lot of splitting of wood, and I thought that would help, so I used some Japanese water stones to round off the edge just a bit, and then I resharpened it using both a ceramic rod and a strop, and I got it back to razor sharp, but now the edge being slightly reprofiled is more of a convex. One of the really great aspects about the SE6, especially for somebody who's looking to get essentially a one knife option and doesn't want to have to carry more than one knife is the fact that the SE6 has a ton of customizability due to the popularity of the knife and the amount of aftermarket or even factory parts that are available for this knife. So for example, there's multiple carry options. You can get a standard hard plastic sheath factory from ESEE with a factory clip. There are also additional molly backs and pouches that can be added. A lot of aftermarket manufacturers will make super nice leather pouches, leather sheaths, different options. As I've shown in prior videos, there's even people who make aftermarket scales of different materials. These are called Cryptoglow, and I have more than one color that I've purchased. I have orange, and I have these sort of brown leather looking ones. I've seen people make nice aftermarket G10 scales, you know, different kinds of micarta, wood scales, so there are tons of options available. It's great to have a knife that just has tons of popularity so that there are so many customizable options out there, so you can really take advantage of that if you're interested in a knife of this size. Now the SE6 comes with many different blade options. I have the plain edge. I personally myself prefer a plain edge. So it's a full flat ground plain edge blade. You can also get this with a partially serrated blade. And just for myself and my personal use and the way I like to use my knives, I don't like serrations in general, so I try to avoid them. You can also get this with a sharpened tip. So up at the point, you can get a sharpened swedge. Now that wouldn't have any use for me at all. In fact, where I use this knife as a batoning knife, that would actually damage the baton, so I try to stay away from sharpened swedges. But if you were going to use this knife in more of a tactical or military purpose, that might actually be a good use for you. You can also get the blade in different colors of coatings and with different colors of handle scales straight from ESEE. This SE6 has become a very trusted companion of mine. If I only had one knife that I could own and I had to get rid of every other blade that I have in my collection, this would be the one I would keep. Hands down, it is the one I would keep. I have the most faith in it. I absolutely trust it. It's almost like an extension of my body. I have perfect control. I can make all the types of cuts that I need to. I can do big enough work, small enough work. Anything is possible. I extremely highly recommend this knife for somebody who can only buy one knife and is looking to get into camping or bushcraft or just wants a really nice blade. I can't say enough good things about it, and I definitely strongly suggest it. So thank you for watching. This is Eric from Outer Limitless. Take care and have a great day.